everyone, Zion over here from Nintendo Life. There is a fly somewhere in this room, and if you see it, please tell me. Earlier this year, I did a few different videos kind of showing off, like, I suppose all the different video games that I've bought, a few different PR packages, different press kits and things like that. And I just wanted to kind of have a bit more fun showing off the different things that I like to purchase, or the things that I get for free from companies. You never know what's gonna come in. And I thought it'd be really fun to make those like once a month or once every 2 months. And I think it's been like 3 or 4 months now since I've last done one, because we've been busy. So how have you all been? How has your summer been? Did you play some games? Did you get anything done? I went to London. I've had a bunch of boxes sitting around waiting for me to open. I have a few things that came in from some friends. I went to some garage sales, and I've bought, I've been very careful with my money lately. I don't know exactly how I acquired this many things in such a small amount of time, but now it would be fun if I were to go through these things in a particular order. And while I think that's possible to some extent, we're just gonna crack some things open. So a lot of you probably know that I got the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Complete Edition, Collector's Edition, the big box thing. I unboxed that a while ago. Along with that, I also ordered the Anamanaguchi vinyl record that they re-released. And they actually did like a t-shirt combo with that. Oh, it looks so good. And this is it. This is the full soundtrack to the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World video game done by Anamanaguchi. Along with some brand new artwork. And you can actually see like Anamanaguchi is here in the background of the set. There's Luke and there's Pete. Like they're all the dudes are here. This is really swell. And I also got this t-shirt of them as well, looking all 16-bit, eating some pizza. And then speaking of Anamanaguchi, I also got in the Miku vinyl record as well. This I pre-ordered, like I didn't even remember pre-ordering this. It just showed up. Oh my gosh, this has 9 different versions of Miku. Okay, so now as far as video games go, I haven't really, it's really hard to say that I haven't been buying a ton lately, but this is just, I've every single video game that I've bought over the past few months, I've put in a stack in the corner of my room and said, hey, I'm gonna show off all of this once I do another one of these videos. So, but at the same time, this is ridiculous for a normal human to purchase, but I'm just gonna explain it. So one thing I actually did recently was I traded some video game boxes and manuals and some video games to a guy for loose discs and cartridges to games that I had boxes and manuals for. So I actually got the disc for Harvest Moon: Another Wonderful Life. That's been on my list for a while. And then there's a few other DS games lingering somewhere here that I'll show off as well that I got from somebody. I bought Academy of Champions on the Wii. This game has always interested me, not because I'm a soccer or a football fan at all, but because you can actually play as like Altair, the Prince of Persia is in here. I think Rayman the Rabbids are in here as well. Like Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell is in here as well. I almost said Tom Clancy, but yeah, this just has some weird crossovers. I finally got the sticker for the Munchables. If any of you saw me stream this on my personal channel, I talked about the fact that there was a sticker that came with this game when you bought it brand new. And they advertised it on the box there, and I finally found a copy of the game somewhere with the sticker. So I got that, that's done. I got Pac-Man Party, because you can't ever have a party without Pac-Man. So what, Mario? Can you play as Pac-Man in your Mario Party game? I don't think so. Speaking of Pac-Man, I also got Rayman Legends, which actually has nothing to do with Pac-Man, but this is like a special GameStop exclusive version, and I've actually heard that the Wii U version of Rayman Legends is the best version because the game was originally designed to be played on Wii U. Now I haven't played this version, so I can't really speak on that matter, but it's worth looking into. And now this version, the disc isn't actually any different. There's nothing different on there at all, but it comes with a download code, which I never used, and maybe nobody else has ever used either, for a special like skin for a character in Rayman Legends. And yeah, I don't know, I just thought it was weird, and I love little oddities like that. Oh, and maybe recently you saw the fact that I put together a big video surrounding my trip to London that I took in May and June, where I bought a bunch of different video games there. I'll have a link in the description down below if you haven't seen that video yet, but that was a lot of fun. And I actually bought more games than I showed off in that video as well. I got Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training for Nintendo Switch. I got Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. I got this Rayman and Rabbids family pack, which has 3 Rayman games on it. I got Teddy Together. And then I got this Kira Kira Pop Princess, and I got Monster Puzzle, which all of those I showed off in the video. But then one of my friends who lives in the UK, Gary, he actually reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in, or I think he was selling some video games at one point, or I don't remember exactly how the dialogue came up. He actually had a copy of Freshly Picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land for the DS, which was a game that only came out in Europe and Japan. It never came to the West. And so I actually bought that from him, and our friend Max actually picked up everything from him, or he shipped it to Max, actually, because I was meeting with Max, so I picked this up from him. And I didn't show it off in the London video because I didn't really buy it in a store there. I got it from Gary, but I still got it while I was there, and I'm really excited to dive into this. It's got the manual and like the original Club Nintendo code and everything too, and it just looks in really good shape. Like I'm very excited to give this game a go. Someday, Gary, someday I will play this. Thank you. Gary also gave me a bunch of other stuff too along with buying this, and I'll show that off as well once it comes up, but there's so much stuff Gary gave me. I also got Castleween on the GameCube. I got Another Code R, Chegger's Party Quiz. I got the PAL version of Resident Evil 4 because the cover art is just way different than the North American cover. This is a Club Nintendo slip for the PAL version of the game, and this is what the North American cover looks like. And I think it's fine, but this is just way more striking. It looks good. I got We Wish You a Merry Christmas. I got a Wii Points card. And then I also got Puyo Pop Fever for the PS2, which in the US only released on the GameCube. And then the DS, I believe, got a version of it. And that one's probably fairly different. But this was only like £3, I think. And the GameCube version is way more expensive than that. And the cover even looks better on the PS2 version than the GameCube one, in my opinion. So I was like, sure. And then I also got Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. It's like a $20 360 game, and I think I paid £2 or £3 for this as well. I also recently went to Seattle for my birthday in July, and I forgot, I didn't really buy a ton of games there, but I got some cool little goodies, I suppose, from a Japanese market that we went to, the Kinokuniya, I think. I picked up this little Rotom Pokemon toy, which I'm dying to open. Let me just do that right now. I love having little collectibles around since I take a lot of photos for Nintendo Life's website and for social media. And now we have Gemma, actually as our community manager, and she takes a lot of amazing photography for the website too. So I haven't been doing it as much lately, but I love having little figurines around like this. So that way I can take photos when I feel inspired or when the right moment comes around. Yeah, it's just a little cutie. Look at him. I also got this not for resale copy of Meteos at a game store in Oregon here. This was like a copy that was probably used in like a demo store unit, or maybe it was taken to events. I don't know the exact history behind this one, but I believe this is probably the full game. And the crazy thing was this actually, I'll show you a close-up of this. Somebody actually Sharpied over the not for resale part of this cartridge. And they probably did that because then they went to go sell it somewhere and they were like, oh, if the GameStop isn't going to buy this if it says not for resale. So somebody covered it up, but I managed to get that off with just a bit of rubbing alcohol. Since DS games for the most part have like a bit of laminate on the label, you can usually clean those pretty easily. I also got Hamtaro Ham Unite with the manual at one of my local game stores for Game Boy Color. And then, when I was in London, Alex actually surprised me with this copy of Teleroboxer on the Virtual Boy. And now, I don't own a Virtual Boy, and the funny thing with that is actually on the wrapping paper for the gift, Alex wrote, Xeon, now you too can endure never playing something. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. I'm actually very excited though, and I take that as a challenge. And I will someday get a Virtual Boy so I can play Teleroboxer. I've never played it, and considering this is like a Punch-Out style game, this was one of the like few Virtual Boy games that I actually would have wanted to own. So this is sick. Thank you again, man. Oh, and then remember how I said I traded with a guy earlier, or like a few months ago? I actually got a loose copy of Style Savvy Fashion Forward and then Dragon Quest IV. And actually, like, this box I bought separately from somebody on Twitter. And then this one I think I got from GameStop a long time ago when they were just like throwing DS boxes out. So like in the grand scheme of things, if you count like what I traded, I really didn't pay a whole lot. And that was super cool that worked out. And then I actually I had an extra copy of Super Mario Maker on 3DS. I traded that with my buddy Josh, and he gave me Yokai Watch because for some reason I had Yokai Watch 2 and 3, but I didn't have 1 anymore. It beats me. I also went to a garage sale this summer and picked up all 3 of these 3DS games, which I did not have in my collection either. And then this copy of Resident Evil Revelations is actually the misprint one as well, which is super common. I think there's probably more misprint ones out there than non, but if you look at the spine of the game, I think Thomas Game Docs, I think just did a video on this topic here, but they spelled it Revelaitons instead of how it should be spelled. Oh, and then at that Japanese bookstore, I also got these Digimon trading card game sleeves, and part of me like doesn't know if I really have the heart to use them, but I think I'll just get it over with and just be careful with how I shuffle them. But these sleeves are super cute, and they're Japanese imports, and normally it's pretty expensive to get import sleeves. But these are only $9, and I think there's 60 in here. It could be 50, and in that case, that will limit what I can actually use them for. And then when I was hanging out with my friend Max, we went to this club, and he just handed me this and said, "Hey man, do you want this?" And I was like, sure. Are you sure? Why? And I don't remember his reasoning. Like, I don't know if he just had a bunch of first edition Machamps on him or what. Because this isn't the most like difficult to find first edition either, because they included these with starter decks, but he just gave me this card, and I didn't have one anymore, so thank you, Max. Gary also gave me the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D soundtrack, which I do actually have already, so I'm probably going to give this away to somebody. He also gave me this Melodies of Time soundtrack, which came out in 2003, and it looks like, so this was definitely like the time of the GameCube. It advertises Metroid Prime and Wario World in here, and A Link to the Past for the GBA. And it has a mix of music from like original Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and there's some Wind Waker stuff on here too. So I don't know if this was a pre-order bonus or what, but it's still super cool. I've never seen that before. And you probably already know that I love Sonic Adventure a lot. I love the music especially. And Gary happened to have these Crush 40 CDs here. Well, at least this one's a Crush 40 album. And they did the music, or some of the music for some of the Sonic Adventure games. But then this Sons of Angels, this has Johnny and June in it, along with 2 other guys as well. I don't know anything about this. I think maybe this was their band before Crush 40, or maybe it was after. Oh no, this was 2000. And it's manufactured by Sega as well. That's so wild. I had no idea. Nintendo sent over a copy of Nintendo Switch Sports, which was really nice of them. I have not played it enough still, sadly, but I would like to get some more use out of it, definitely in the holidays. As far as Switch stuff goes, I picked up Rainbow Billy recently because it was only $20 at GameStop. And this was kind of like an Undertale-esque RPG, kind of like maybe Paper Mario almost, where you're trying to befriend the enemies in the game instead of murdering them. And it's just a really cute premise, and it has this kind of Cuphead style art style, I suppose, too. I got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 recently, Danganronpa Decadence, Amori, and then just the other day I picked up Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. And then when I was at the Limited Run Games store opening, I actually met this guy Ron from Retrobit, and him and I, like, he was super nice, and he actually gave me this copy of Always Awakening, which is actually a full-on NES style game. Like it's like on an NES cartridge. You can play this in a Nintendo right now. And the cartridge is super cool. It's translucent. It even has a swappable save battery, so if that ever dies down the road, you can just pop it out and pop a new one back in. It even has an etched sprite of Alwa on the cartridge itself, on the front and the back. They just put so much effort into their physical editions of games, and I would love to see more of these things that they put out here, because there's like a full manual in this game. There's like the slipcover box. There's a dust cover in here. There's there's just a bunch of really cool stuff in here. And then I also bought some Final Fantasy t-shirts at Uniqlo, the clothing store, when I was in London, and I got this deck of Final Fantasy playing cards, which were just super neat. Every single card has a different piece of artwork on it, and it's all artwork from Final Fantasy 1 all the way up to Final Fantasy 16. But these are really nice cards too. They're good quality. Gary also gave me a few different, like, I'm assuming these were like European pre-order bonuses. This is like a little paperweight that just has a Majora's Mask like symbol, like a piece of paper or something in here, but it looks kind of cool. I dig that. He gave me this Super Mario 30th Anniversary pin set, which is just some Mario Maker pins in here. Pretty cute. And then the ones that I like freaked out about the most is because these are super nice quality. This is a Mario Kart 8 pin set that was made for the first Mario Kart 8, and this was through Club Nintendo, actually, it looks like. But there's all sorts of different like power-ups, items that you can pick up in the game, but as pins instead. And it just looks really cool. So thank you, Gary. This was really nice of you to do. Gary also gave me a bunch of other cool, like, Zelda goodies and things that he'd collected over the years. And I could take time and show you all of them, but I know this video is already going to be super long, so I'll skip those. But the one thing I do really want to show you as well is that he got me the Earthbound Beginnings 8 Melodies notebook. Now, this never came out in America. This was a My Nintendo exclusive for just Europe. And this thing is huge. I wasn't expecting it to be this massive. I thought it would just be just a little paper notebook. And inside here, I've never opened this before. This is the first time I've opened it. It actually has like sheet music. Look at that. It has sheet music lines on the inside. And then there's some kind of neat designs based on Earthbound Beginnings there. And then it looks like they have the character sprites are in the corners of the pages here too, which is really nice. At least for the first few pages. And then the rest of the pages have sprites from Earthbound Beginnings as well. I don't know if I ever would have got that otherwise, so thank you, dude. So I also went to a random garage sale in Oregon here, and I stumbled upon this Yokai Watch book, and I think it just talks about the different characters from the anime, more or less. I mean, like, yeah, these characters are in the video game as well, but it more goes into detail the characters and from the anime, and then shows off, like, you know, little pictures from that. And it's all in Japanese, but I think this was only like $1, so I couldn't leave that behind. And I also found this book as well. And, well, it's not really a book. It's like, it has all these little punch outs. There is some hiragana on here, but I think this is maybe like something for kids to learn. Maybe like the language or how to say numbers and different things. Because here you have a bunch of numbers on the side. Maybe somebody can tell me what this is, but I'm looking forward to learning Japanese more and then like figuring out if this can help me learn Japanese, because I basically have child brain when it comes to Japan. Felix also got me this Goomba plush toy, and it's perfect because I also collect little plush video game character toys, and so this will definitely show up at some point in a video or a photo set with Mario, and that was really nice of him to get them. We'll go right here for now. Maybe here. That's better. And now I don't remember when exactly I got this, but I found this on Facebook. I got this for a super good deal, and it's always been like one of those systems that kind of intrigued me because it's so strange that it's a Pokédex like 2DS, and the button on top, it actually clicks. It doesn't do anything, and it actually kind of scares me because like the screen is right on the other side of the button. And like, I don't know, if you push that too many times, like, are you gonna potentially crack the screen or something? Is that a danger? I don't know. I don't, it's a cool system though. It looks really nice. And then I also got this white Nintendo 3DS because I didn't actually own a base Generation 1 3DS anymore. And I found it for a good price in Europe, and we actually never got the white model here in the US either. So that was a bit more special. And it's a PAL region system, so I can play European games right on here. And then from a very kind friend, very kind soul, actually gifted me a capture card modded Nintendo 3DS. So now I can actually capture my own 3DS and Nintendo DS gameplay without having to bother my coworkers or other YouTube channels or anything like that. Now, like if I need to capture footage, I can just use this. I can plug it directly into my PC, and bam, I've got footage for Super Mario 3D World or A Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. This is gonna come in handy so much, and it actually already has with Felix's Attack of the Friday Monsters video, which if you haven't watched already, I'll link that in the description down below as well. But the footage all from that video was taken with this system. So we've already put this thing to good use. So thank you for gifting us this as well. At the Limited Run show, I actually got to meet Mega64 as well, who like have been idols of mine for years. One of the big reasons I picked up a camera and like kind of learned how to use one and got confident in front of a camera was because of Mega64. Me and my friends would like run around in public and do really stupid stuff, which we shouldn't have been doing. But Mega64, it's your fault. I met Derek, Rocco, and Sean all there. And they were all willing to sign my Volume 1 DVD of theirs. So that was pretty sweet. Speaking of signatures, I actually, for my birthday when we were in Seattle, I got to meet Reggie as well. And I brought his book along as well, which they actually sent me a review copy of. So thank you again for that too. And he signed the inside of the book. And I actually also got to ask him a question. Not about Mother 3, but I still almost made him choke on his water and die in the process anyways. So, whoops. Capcom also sent over a copy of the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak collector's edition. It still is not open yet because what is wrong with me? The amiibo in here is beautiful. I will open this at some point. I want to open it once I'm like committed to playing the game. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. I just need to find the time. So back home in Wisconsin, one of my good friends, Tyler Sherfinsky, lives there. And we used to work at GameStop together, and we've just been great friends for years and years and years. And he was going through a bunch of his stuff recently and was like, "Hey Xeon, how would you feel if I sent you a Tony Hawk ride board?" And I said, "Tyler, no." And this obviously does not have a Tony Hawk ride board in it, but this box is from him. And I have no idea what is in here at all whatsoever. I could maybe make some guesses because I think he did send me some photos of some things, but that was so long ago that I don't remember. So we're all gonna figure it out together. Also, Tyler, I know you sent this to me like months ago, and I'm sorry for taking forever to open it, but I'm opening it now, and I thank you. Whoa! Oh my gosh, are these Pick and Save? Oh my gosh, Pick and Save plastic bags. I love these. My mom used to work at this grocery store. Oh man, he's so nice. I miss that guy. So already I can see there's a little Sprite made thing in here. Oh, cool! So we have a friend named Hank who actually makes perler bead art, and he sells them at conventions. And I like Hank's perler beads. Like a lot of people do that sort of thing, right? But one of the first like people to ever do this like kind of base with sprites is Hank. I'd never seen anyone do anything like that before, and I still don't really know if I have. But Hank will make custom bases for his sprites, and then they stand up almost like little action figures, and it's super cool. So I'll leave a link to Hank's Instagram in the comments down below. Oh boy, this is so we used to work at GameStop together, right? And we used to get lanyards all the time for like different video game releases and you name it, whatever. So he sent me a Grand Theft Auto 5 one. Amazing. Thank you, Tyler. Oh, dang, dude. And these are in such nice shape. There's a 3DS one in here, like a Generation 1 3D where they're advertising 3D without the glasses. There's a Wii U one. Okay, that's pretty sweet. And these are all in such nice shape too. There's a Wii one, a base Wii lanyard. Like, I feel like such a dork getting so excited about this, but that's really rad. And a DSi one, cool. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Thank you, man. I haven't used a lanyard in a long time, but at GameStop, like that was often a thing. Like if you worked at GameStop or you worked at a store with a lanyard, you're probably doing a lot of this all the time. Am I right, fellas? Drop a lanyard in the comments below if you were one of these people. Oh, cool! He sent me some Paper Mario and Mario Golf pins. Oh, that's super cool. Oh, cool! And this is a 30th anniversary Mario Maker pin. And ooh, I think this is a Majora's Mask pin. Yeah! I don't know if I still have mine, but the crazy thing with this was they actually, I think they gave this out if you pre-ordered and purchased Codename Steam, because this was around the same time I think that Majora's Mask 3D was coming out. And they probably made this to give away with Majora's Mask, but then I bet Nintendo was like, hey, we have to sell Codename Steam somehow. What are we gonna do? And they were like, hey, what if we give them the Zelda pre-order bonus? That'll sell, right? Yeah, and I didn't buy Codename Steam at launch, but I think I still did have one of these somehow. So thank you, GameStop employee that gave this to me. What is this? I see there's the Twilight Princess soundtrack in here. That's super cool. I don't know if I actually have this. I think this might have been a pre-order bonus as well for the game. And I don't think I got Twilight Princess HD day one, so that's sweet. Whoa, nice! This is Kid Icarus AR cards. I don't know if my copy has mine in there. That's super rad. And I think Tyler Sherfinsky used to subscribe to Nintendo Power, so I don't know if these were from there, because I think they gave away some in Nintendo Power too, but that's super cool. A Dishonored tarot cards. Nice. Maybe I'll give those to my partner because she was interested in tarot cards for a while. And then is this like the goodies? This is the goodies for Senran Kagura. What is this? Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson on 3DS. I don't own this game. Yep, this is the soundtrack. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Oh, sweet! I forgot, this is something that he did send me pictures of. And he packaged it up so nice. Let me, oh, maybe that's what it's from. That makes sense. So he also sent me the Kid Icarus Uprising strategy guide. And let me just say that Please don't dislike the video. I have it in my backlog there. I've never played through Kid Icarus Uprising. I started the game once and I put maybe like 10 minutes in, but I just never bought it at launch. I now own it, but I love using strategy guides for video games. So this honestly will push me to play the game. And I bet that this Dark Pit flying AR card here, yep, it came with the strategy guide. So that's super cool. Thank you, man. This is lovely. You crushed it. You didn't have to get me any of this. You could have just, you didn't even have to send me this. You could have sent me a Wii lanyard and I would have been over the moon already. But thank you, man. This is super cool. We got away scot-free. No Tony Hawk ride board in sight. Part of me was curious if I was going to find like a Tony Hawk ride board like turned into like plastic powder in the box or something like that. But nope, didn't happen. Now this box is fairly small, but let me tell you what is in here is actually one of the things I was the most excited to crack open. There is an artist named Slow Magic, who I hadn't really listened to his stuff before, but my friend Terrence, who works for Hyperkin, put me in contact with Slow. What Slow did is he actually remixed his album from 10 years ago, and to commemorate it, he actually released it on a Game Boy Advance cartridge. So this is like a full like Game Boy Advance box here. It's got Game Boy Advance video in the corner there. It's super cute. And this apparently has a cartridge in here that will play on the Game Boy Advance. So I have my GBA SP over here somewhere, and I'll get you some good footage of it so we can actually see like what it really looks like proper and sounds like and everything. But I am so stoked to check this out. Oh, heck yeah. This is so sweet. Like he has the full video on here. Like I'm not sure if he made like full music videos for all these songs or if they repeat a bit. Slow, this is nuts. This is so cool, man. And then you can use the D-pad to change songs as well. So please go check out Slow's music. I believe he was selling these in limited quantities on his merch store as well, but I don't know how long ago he released that. He sent me this maybe 3 months ago. It was like before I left for London. So I'm so sorry that I took forever to like check this out, but I really wanted to make sure that I got to show it in video because this is so sick. Man, can someone put my band's music videos on a GBA cartridge? So I have 2 more boxes left, and then I have something extra special that I want to show off that I still don't even believe. I still don't even believe I have it. But we will just sit on that. Just think about that for a few moments. Now this box is actually from Ron from Retrobit. We were talking about Mother at the limited run store opening that I was at. And I showed him a bit of the documentary and kind of was telling him all about it, and he loved it. Like he watched it like right at launch, and dude, Ron's such a cool guy. Like I really can't thank him enough. And he told me that he actually had an extra copy of the Mother 3 strategy guide that Fangamer made a long time ago, and I never bought one. Like not that I didn't want one; they're super rad. I just hadn't I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't done it. But Ron said that he had an extra and that he was gonna send it over to me. And then he asked me if he could send over some more stuff. So I don't know what's in here exactly, but we will find out. Oh yeah. Okay, sweet. Gosh dang it, Ron. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah. So this is the Porky Army Survival Guide. But what this is it's masked as the Mother 3 strategy guide from Fangamer. And the crazy thing with this is like, this looks like an officially licensed strategy guide. If you've ever wanted to play Mother 3, this looks like an incredibly special way to play through the game because they actually went and remade a bunch of, you know how like in the Earthbound strategy guide, a bunch of the characters are made up of clay? They did just that. They made clay models of a bunch of the characters from Mother 3, and then they took photos of them and used them in the strategy guide. And then they hand drew a bunch of different enemies. And this guide just looks like something, it almost looks like something better than what Nintendo would make these days. Like, I'm not dogging on Nintendo by saying that either. I just mean like, there's a lot of care that went into this. And I need to buy one of these and give it to somebody else at least so I can like support this cause. Because this is super cool, and I'm really excited to I would love to play the game again using this strategy guide and reading it as I go through the game, because this is really cool. So thanks, Ron. Oh, and sweet! And then the slipcover actually functions as a poster as well of a bunch of those clay models that we were just talking about. That's really rad. Whoa, sweet! I think we were talking about these actually at the event. This is a keychain that just makes the power-up sound for Mario, and it has Mario next to a mushroom, and it says big. It says big on it. It's very cute. Thank you, Ron. That's super cool. And then in here also is, let's see, is this a Pokemon notebook? Oh yeah, this is. That's super cool. Yeah, so this is it's a very simple, but like highly usable notebook. And I actually am like at the end of my most recent notebook. So like I will use the heck out of this. Thank you, man. And then yeah, he also asked me if I would want one of these as well. And I'll crack one of them open right now. This is, I think it's a full set of Final Fantasy VII figures that are the exact like look and everything of the PlayStation 1 characters. So yeah, so this is a Square Enix product and everything too. But so there's 7 characters total, and there's 8 boxes. So I believe this is gonna have every single character in here. What is this? What the heck? Ron, what are these? They're like little bases for something. What would they even be? Why are there 4 of them in here? What is this? Oh, cool. Well, it's Aerith. Maybe the 4 bases thing is an accident. Are they magnet? Okay, well, they're not magnet. I don't know. What, is there supposed to be 4 in here? Is that an accident? What are they, Ron? Tell me. Well, this one has 5. What are these things? Am I gonna play a game of checkers after this? Oh, Tifa. Sweet. Oh, they're so cute. They look really, really nice. If anyone knows what these things are, let me know. It's definitely not materia. Ah! Now this box is also extra special to me. This, I actually bought this on my way to London. I was on a plane. My friend Mark actually tagged me. I think somebody else tagged me on Twitter as well. And was like, Xeon, hey, this is available right now. You like, look. And I was like, ah! I managed to buy these puppies. Oh, look at how cute they are. They're so good. They are so good in person. Oh man. I'm sorry I'm like not showing you everything right now. This is also my first time looking at all of these things. So it's like, I wanna look at them first too. They look so good. Dang. And even the packaging is super nice. Like it has the sprites on the top. On the back here, we actually see the different areas that each of these different characters are found in the game. And the bottom, you know, it has like, you know, there's a little like Nintendo seal of quality, which is very nice. That's cool to see. The sprites are there again. And then on the side, it just says Mother. Oh, and then there's a little, oh yes, there's a peace sign Ness. That I think might be my favorite sprite of Ness. Like if I were to pick, like if I were to get a tattoo of Ness, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should do that. Get a little tattoo of that version of Ness. And of course, I'm no purist collector who's gonna keep these sealed in a box forever. We're gonna open them. Yeah, and now we have to find a home for you all on the shelf. Jeff, do you have any bottle rockets in your pockets, huh? Jeff! Hold still, Jeff! I will free you. Ness, where? Everyone else has a very easy to see, like, zip tie on their chests, and Ness doesn't. Oh, but I guess what I could do is just cut the backside of all of them, sure. Oh, come on, all you guys have to be strapped down by your feet, too? Look at how cool they are. That's so sweet. Like, I can't even believe that, like, a product like this exists. Like, it feels like this should have happened by now, you know? Like, we should have gotten toys like this, and now we finally have them. And they're just so cool. Look at them. Look at how happy Ness is. Man, I want to go take photos of them everywhere. What a little punk. Paula's eyes are like Miss Pac-Man. The fly! Get out of here. It was like in Earthbound. I almost killed the, it's not a fly. I know it's not a fly, and I'm blanking on his name, but in the opening scene of Earthbound. What is going on? And it touched Ness. That is weird. I mentioned the fly at the beginning of this video, and that was the first time I've actually seen it. It's back. It's back for Nest. Leave him alone! Now, I don't really know how to introduce this last gift that I got, because it still doesn't feel real to me necessarily. And if any eagle-eyed viewers happen to notice that my copy of Earthbound is actually missing from the back of my set here, you know, I like the little boxes here, and I redid my set, and I made a whole Earthbound display. It's because I sold it, because I just didn't need it anymore. I made that video and I didn't need it anymore. And rather than give you a better explanation than that myself, I'll just show you why I didn't need it anymore. Oh no, do you? Oh my God. Do you really?
I have a little gift for you.
Okay, okay.
There you go, that's for you.
It's actually like a meat pie.
This is what Mario Paint looks like. And no, come on, you guys, no,
Let's see it, let's see it.
Is that what you disconnected the other day?
Maybe.
Is that? You did so good.
Oh my God.
There you go.
He can die happy now. Yep.
I don't know what to do.
So, unfortunately, we couldn't get Mario Paint.
So you have to settle for this.
Nice laid up.
So we got that in
Are you serious? Come on. I know, this means so much. What the heck? So I now own a complete and box copy of Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. As I mentioned, I went to London a few months ago, and I met my directors for the first time, Ant, Damien, and Daz. I got dinner with all of them, with my partner and with my friend Austin, who also writes for the site, and it's hard for me to like sit here and be like, yeah, they appreciated the documentary around Earthbound that I made so much that they thought it was so cool and they liked it so much. You know, like, what do I like? I can't explain to you why they bought this for me, but they did, and that's crazy. And they went through, like, they put forth the effort to make sure they got me one that was like in nice shape too, like the actual structural integrity of the box is beautiful. It has the game is in here. The side up here is a little sun faded, but like, I'm never gonna get rid of this. I don't care. And but yeah, it's got the strategy guide with the scratch and sniffs, and like, I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to like get some glare going here, but like, the guide itself is like really, really clean. It, like, whoever used this before, it doesn't look like sadly used the guide itself. So in the Earthbound documentary, my friend Matt, who does Retro Thunder on Instagram, and he's on TikTok, and he has a Twitter as well. He was actually the one who provided us with footage of the game, the strategy guide and the big box for the documentary. But now I have like my own full, like, real live, like, scratch and sniffable strategy guide for the game, and this is just surreal. This is ridiculous. And I've already scratched a few of them, but I didn't want to scratch them all yet because I didn't want to like I always want there to be like, maybe I'll scratch one a year, so that way I'll like, it's a little treat, like, oh, New Year, it's New Year, new scratch and sniff. Gotta find out what this one smells like. I scratched the monkey because Salsa from Mother 3 was one of my favorite characters, and I know this is not the same monkey, but I really liked the monkeys. And this one says, slip the monkey a banana and watch the bad guys split. Oh yeah, that smells like artificial Runts banana, if I've ever smelled those. And I love banana Runts. I really do. They're one of my favorite, maybe not favorite candies, but I enjoy them. I would eat a handful of banana Runts. But yeah, they got me, like, they made sure that the strategy guide was in good shape, and the cartridge itself is actually super clean too. And which, like, it kind of, like, I felt a little bad to like get rid of the copy that I had before, but just knowing that this copy that I replaced it with, I suppose, like, came from these people that like gifted it to me, you know, like my copy, I bought my copy in a store, but like, this is so important to me now and like my life, like, just having this means a lot. And like, I don't know if I talked about this in the documentary, but I always wanted to play Earthbound as a kid after I learned about him in Smash, but it was one of those things where by that time, it was really hard to find copies of the game. And even whenever I did, it was like, Earthbound was kind of like the unicorn, like for a lot of gamers, I think back then. And especially for me, it was like seeing Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy 3/6 on Super Nintendo. You just never saw those around. I would love to hear from other people what they remember that time frame looking like the early 2000s, you know, like what was it like getting those games? Was it just that people were keeping them? I don't know, but I will take lots of photos of it. I will put it in as much B-roll footage as I can. I will make sure that people see this copy of Earthbound. And I just want to thank my bosses again so much. Like, it's very expensive to get a game like this these days. And they live in the UK. Like, I'll share this picture with you, but I took a picture of Earthbound like sitting on the side of a street in London, and I sent it to John Cartwright and was like, dude, you'll never guess what I found in London. And because like this game never came out in Europe physically, so it was just it didn't make any sense. And I actually have a video in the works surrounding Mario Paint, and I think in the video clip that I showed you earlier, I think they might mention that. And Mario Paint actually came in the same exact size box, to my knowledge, as Earthbound. So when I was opening up this present from them, part of me was like, oh, like, okay, it's a complete in-box copy of Mario Paint. Like, I understand this is the size of Earthbound, but they wouldn't do that to me, right? They wouldn't do that. But they did, Paula and Jeff. They did do that. They did. It even has the cardboard insert, so I don't have to go hunting that down for the rest of my life. I can stop looking in thrift store bookshelves for kids. It's just rad. Thank you all for hanging out and doing this giant, basically miniature summer Christmas for me, with me here. It's a lot of fun really opening up these gifts from people, sharing with you the stories about how I get these video games, where I find them, why I choose to buy them. And it's just, you know, this is a big hobby for me. Yeah, like Nintendo Life is my job, but I do this all because I love it, you know? And it means a lot to me to be able to kind of like have you, the audience, to like be able to talk to you about this stuff, and like, and to have you stick around to the end to, I don't know, hear what else I happen to have to say. And so just, I don't know, thanks for sticking around, thanks for supporting me, and thanks for like giving me the energy to make a documentary like this happen. So please go watch that documentary if you have not already. Leave a comment on it if you haven't. I've read every single comment, and I will continue going back to that video probably once a week at the very least to read the comments, because that video means a lot. Let us know in the comments down below let us know what you think. Let me know if you've bought any of the games that I picked up here or that I showed off in this video, or if you've played any of them in the past and you think I should play one of them sooner than later. Let me know. And of course, let me know if there's anything in here that was pretty cool that like you would love to pick up yourself. I'm definitely not going to be able to give information about where you can buy all this stuff in the description, but if you leave a comment, I can definitely try to read those and respond and let you know where you can find some of this stuff. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you go ahead and give that subscribe button a copy of Earthbound, because I don't know how else to tell that subscribe button is doing a good job than that. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zan from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time. What do you do when one of your life goals was to get a complete in-box copy of Earthbound someday? What do you do when you've checked that off your bucket list?